Good evening and welcome inside the broadcast studio at UVC TV 19 in the Student Union. I'm your host, Xander Manning, and this is UMass Sports Weekly. I'll be giving you the latest in UMass sporting news. Got a great show on tap for you tonight. First, we'll be talking some UMass football with your favorite football analyst, John Ho. How did the Minutemen fare against Sunbelt opponent Georgia Southern this weekend? Did they finally pick up their first win? We'll find out. And then we have a very special guest for you. You'll see who it is. I'm not telling you anything. Not a word. Alright, I'll give you a little bit of a clue. He plays for the men's soccer team, and Justin loves to talk about him. After that, we'll be talking some UMass hockey with Ryan Beaton, who was at this weekend's matchups with the Ohio State University. How did the Minutemen do? Was Tim right on his predictions? We'll have to see and find out. Got a great show on tap for you tonight. Hope you'll stick with us. Grab a drink, soda or otherwise if you're 21 or over, and sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. All this and more is coming right up. This is UMass Sports Weekly. We're back. Over the weekend, the UMass football team took on Sunbelt opponent Georgia Southern, and after the game, campus was buzzing. Why, you ask? Well, Lee Corso of ESPN College Game Day picked UMass to win, and he was right. He picked the Minutemen to win, and they did by a whopping score of 55-20. Oh, let's roll that tape.
Homecoming matches was UMass and Georgia Southern, and it was dominated by UMass, starting with a touchdown pass to Adam Brenneman from Ross Thomas. On UMass's next drive, Ross Thomas threw a 68-yard bomb to Andy Isabella for a touchdown. UMass remained relentless, including on special teams, as they were able to get a turnover off the kickoff. Then UMass was able to capitalize as Ross Thomas completed a pass to Jesse Britt for a 26-yard touchdown. Georgia Southern was able to strike back as Cato Brown ran for a 12-yard touchdown. Then UMass struck back as Bile Alley ran for a 19-yard touchdown to put UMass up 28-7. On the next UMass drive, it looked like Brendan Dingle was able to run to the end zone for a touchdown, but it was ruled a fumble, which meant a Georgia Southern touchback. However, on UMass's next drive, they were able to rectify that mistake with a touchdown as Marquise Young ran for a 7-yard touchdown. Then UMass went up 41-10 as Andrew Ford completed a bomb to Brendan Dingle for a 43-yard touchdown. Georgia Southern would respond as Cato Brown ran 10 yards for another touchdown. However, UMass would put the game completely out of reach as Bile Alley ran for another touchdown. In the second half, UMass continued their dominance as Bile Alley ran for a 57-yard touchdown, as UMass was able to cap off their first victory of the year, 55-20, against Georgia Southern.
I'm back here with John Ho, our resident expert on UMass football. John, how you doing?
I couldn't be doing better.
Couldn't be doing better. You heard it. So, we talked about it. They won 55-20. What are some takeaways from this game? What are some positives to take away?
Oh boy, where do we start? So last week I was wondering about the offense. I was wondering if we were going to see the performance against Tennessee in which they barely scored, or the performance in which they scored a bunch but they couldn't get the win. So, and I would say that we got last game's performance. It was an offensive bonanza. So, and the offense basically dominated George Southern. And UMass had 670 yards of offense compared to Georgia Southern's 291 yards. They had 33 first downs compared to Georgia Southern's 12. They dominated time of possession with 34 minutes to 8 seconds compared to Georgia Southern's 25 minutes to 52 seconds. And both Andrew Ford and Ross Thomas shared quarterback time and went a combined 21 to 28 and threw for 350 yards and 4 touchdowns. And 3 came from Ross Thomas. And the running game was the star of the game. Right. Billy Ari ran for 116 yards. Marquise Young ran for 101 yards. And overall, the UMass running backs ran for 320 yards for 4 touchdowns. And also, unlike last game, the defense showed up.
Defense in college football?
Yes.
Tell me more.
All right, then. So the QBs for Georgia Southern only threw for 155 yards. Cato Brown went 4 for 9 and threw an interception and a QBR of 48.2. And LeBaron Anthony went 1 for 9 and threw for 7 yards and had a QBR of 6.5. And they forced 4 turnovers off of Georgia Southern. And they were able to get 3 sacks.
What is this, the NFL?
No, it's still college.
Still college, wow. So what are the negatives from this game? There's got to be some sort of negatives here. It's UMass football.
So mostly this is, you take away all the positives, but there are some negatives that Coach Whipple can show in the film room to lecture his players about so that they can improve on the season. So
that's a better way of putting it. What can they improve on?
So they had 2 turnovers. One of them was a turnover in the end zone in which a player was running to get a touchdown, but he fumbled in the end zone. I kind of had a flashback to the Patriots game against the Jets for a second. And also, on special teams, I didn't really like how they covered Miles Campbell. He ran for 192 yards off punt returns. So I think the special teams could improve on that. They could look at the special teams and not allow that to happen again. And also, look out for Andrew Ford. He got hurt in this game and he went out just like in the Tennessee game. So I would be a little worried about Andrew Ford's health because in the Tennessee he went out and in this game he went out.
I mean, to be fair, isn't he just a redshirt sophomore? Doesn't he have a little bit of time to improve?
I guess, but...
All right, so we're playing Appalachian State this weekend. Sorry, Appalachian State this weekend, but...
Yeah.
What can we expect out of them?
So they're actually a very solid team. They're 5-2 and they have won 3 straight. And their only losses are to Wake Forest and to Georgia, who's currently the 3rd best team in the country behind Alabama and Penn State. And they average around 29 points per game and allow around 21 points.
Ooh, sounds like a pretty close game coming this weekend, but I'll ask you, what's your prediction? What's the score going to be this weekend?
As much as I want to be a UMass homer and pick them to win, it kind of pains me to say this, but I have to go with Appalachian State. I think it's going to be a really high scoring game, but I'm going to say Appalachian State 45 to 38.
45-38. You heard it here first, folks. Well, thanks for taking the time to talk to us, Cheho. Up next, we have our special guest from the men's soccer team. Don't even think about changing that channel. We'll be right back. Justin will be hosting that segment. Again, we will be right back.
And we're back. I'm Justin McCagnon, and tonight we have a treat for you as UMass men's soccer junior defender Conrad Gorich joins us. This men's soccer team has shocked critics this year. The Minutemen, going 5-13 last year, have destroyed everyone's expectations and are now 11-2-3. They're making a serious run for the conference title and have serious opponents next week with Fordham at home. Tonight we have, as I said, Conrad Gorich here with us. Conrad, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Yeah, perfect day. So, compared to last year, what do you think was the major fix for this team that has been so successful?
Yeah, I think we have a good freshman class coming in. They definitely improved our quality, and also I think we improved as a whole team. We have a good coach, and over the years you get better if you have a good coach, and that's the case. So that's what's happening right
Absolutely. now. I mean, Coach O'Leary, definitely a consistent winning record over the past couple of years. Do you feel that team chemistry is getting better?
I think we would. I think we had a really good team chemistry all year long, last year as well. But yeah, we have a good team chemistry, definitely.
Absolutely. Is there a specific player that is the X factor for this team, or is everyone contributing to the team's success?
I think we don't have a player like that. Of course, we have really good players, but the thing that makes us really strong is the team performance. As like 11 players on the field, even that, like we have 28 players in the squad, and everybody of them makes an impact to the team.
Absolutely. Were there any big personal accomplishments for you this year?
No, like of course I'm happy that we win all these games. A big game for me was Dayton last weekend. I'm happy that we won this game. It was a tough game, and yeah, that's it.
Absolutely. For a transfer student coming from Germany, is that a difference maker for you, or does it kind of like you ease in well to it?
Of course, college soccer is really different compared to playing soccer back home. Over here, it's more like working hard against the ball, kicking the ball a little bit, run behind it, and back home it's more like you keep the ball on the ground, but it's all good.
Absolutely. And for obviously reasons, how do you think you fare against top conference opponent Fordham next week?
I think we will do fine. Last year we won 2-0 against them. Of course, they're going to be a good opponent, but we want to win every game, and let's work for it, definitely.
Absolutely. Well, you heard it here first, folks. He's definitely he thinks we have a good game, and I have very high hopes for this team next week. Thank you, Conrad. UMass will definitely be paying attention to your soccer squad this week with the major game next week on November 1st against Fordham. Conrad, it's been a pleasure, and we'll be right back with Ryan Beaton for some insight on men's hockey.
She looked me in my eyes. She said, baby, I am not afraid to die. Push me to the edge. All my friends are dead. Push me to the edge. All my friends are dead. Push me to the edge.
UMass in the second game of a two-part series against Ohio State. First period, number 19 Kevin Miller scores first to put Ohio State up 1-0. Miller knocked the puck past Matt Murray off a feed from Tanner Lazinski and Dakota Joshua. We go to the second period as Ohio State leads 1-0. Justin Cotier with a big hit. The fans aren't happy with the call, but Cotier is going to go in 2 minutes for boarding. Later on that period, Lazinski and Wyatt Eggy set up a Janik Moser strike from the high slot that rung under the crossbar. Number 16, Matthew Weiss, is going to grab the puck for Moser as it's his first goal. Weiss is going to flip that up to the trainer so Moses can keep that as a souvenir. We bring you to the final 30 seconds of the second period. Matt Murray makes a crucial save for the Minutemen. Murray gloved it pretty close to the goal line, so the refs are going to review the goal. Murray clearly displeased that the goal has to be reviewed in the first place. Refs check the camera and the goal would be under review for a very long time. Head referee rules it no goal. We now move ahead to the third period. Ohio State up 2-0. Number 16, Matthew Weiss, gets a goal assisted by Lazinski. And that would be it for the Minutemen as they fall to Ohio State 3-0. UMass moves to a record of 3-3 on the season.
And just like that, we're back. Great job by Justin and Conrad. Great to have a player on the show for once. And on Friday and Saturday this past weekend, the UMass hockey team took on the Ohio State University. The Minutemen, however, weren't able to come away with a victory in either game, falling 3-1 and 3-0 respectively. I'm joined now by Ryan Beaton, who will tell us exactly what happened this weekend. Ryan, how you doing tonight?
Good, how are you, Xander?
Not too bad.
Great.
So let's start with the Friday night game. How did the Minutemen look against the Buckeyes on Friday?
Not too well, honestly. First off, the Minutemen lost their 3-game winning streak, which was big. May not seem like a big deal, but this is a team that won only 5 games last year, so obviously they were proud of that winning streak. Ohio State's a very talented team, and UMass knew that going into the series. Despite scoring first on Friday, UMass let Ohio State score 3 unanswered goals, 2 of them coming on the power play. The Minutemen are doing a great job taking shots, winning face-offs, especially on Friday. and especially UMass's top points leader, John Leonard, Oliver Chow, nowhere to be found, taking a collective 5 shots on the night. The main reason UMass couldn't convert their shots in the goals, Sean Romeo, the goalie for Ohio State, virtually unstoppable, very talented, made 24 stops the other night for the Buckeyes. So,
I mean, he got heckled, but he sure had one hell of a night on Friday night.
absolutely.
What about Saturday? How do you do on Saturday?
Yeah, he fared very well. To say the least, he was a brick wall.
Nope.
And Saturday night brought Sean Romeo his first shutout of the season, which is huge for him. UMass was unable to convert any of their 23 shots into goals. Ohio State's offense, on the other hand, had a goal each period of the game, scoring in the first, the second, and the third period. And not to mention, the game saw its fair share of physicality, as both teams could be found in skirmishes by the net after the whistle.
I mean, it sounds like they just got a little chippy towards the ends.
Absolutely.
And there was tension, like we said. There was tension between the two teams. Do you think playing back-to-back has anything to do with that?
I would say it 100% does. By the second night, both teams were clearly sick of seeing each other. There was a good amount of pushing, shoving after the whistle, especially in front of the net, like I said earlier. I know these athletic directors make deals so that the away team's making a worthwhile trip by getting 2 games in. But man, these two teams showing a lot of bad blood, getting sick of each other very quickly.
To quote Taylor Swift, bad blood. Thanks for taking the time to talk to us, Ryan.
No problem. Thanks for having me, Xander.
That'll do it for all of us here at UMass Sports Weekly. And that's the show tonight, folks. I want to say a huge thank you to Amanda, our producer in the other room, who made this show possible tonight. And for all the analysts, thank you to Conrad for showing up and being on the show tonight. Time to call up Greenfields, everybody, because that's a wrap. Be sure to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat, MySpace if it still exists, whatever. Follow us. Keep up on the latest on the show. We'll be back at the same time next week, 6:30. And have a great week, UMass.